Los Angeles, California. America's second city is one of the most glamorous and iconic places on the planet. The greater Los Angeles area is home to around 18 million people, and the sprawling metropolis is a real melting pot. But there is one ethnic group which dominates LA. Although Mexico ceded the territory of California to the United States in 1848, its cultural influence over the Golden State was never severed. Some 45% of LA's population are Latinos, people who trace their ancestry to Latin America. And the overwhelming majority of those are of Mexican descent. In the sports world, this community has enjoyed considerable success in the boxing ring, and Transworld Sport traveled to East LA to meet up with a pivotal figure in the rise of the Mexican-American fighter.
I was the first Mexican-American in the history of the Olympic Games to ever win a gold medal, and I took a lot of pride in that. You know, so I went in the Olympics with a Mexican flag and an American flag just to show my heritage, you know. Hey, I'm here to represent, and we come a long ways. Because I told myself, when I go to the Olympics, I'm here to win a gold medal and nothing else. Don't forget, I was on a mission from God, and I couldn't be stopped for nothing.
On Olympic Boulevard in East Los Angeles stands the Eddie Herrera Boxing Club. It's here where 49-year-old Paul Gonzales spends most of his time. He's employed by the LA County Department of Parks and Recreation to run this facility. Paul has a good rapport with the youngsters who attend the gym. For many of the young Mexican Americans working out here, boxing is a sport which helps keep them off the streets, and it brings a sense of discipline to their lives. One of 8 children, Paul was raised by his single mother in the notoriously rough housing projects of East LA. He was involved with gangs from a very early age and was a survivor of stabbings and shootings by the time he was 12.
It was tough. I mean, you had to fight your way through that community for respect, because if you didn't fight your way, they were going to walk over you. So you had to stand up. I mean, I didn't want to fight. I was a little guy. But if you picked on my brothers and sisters, it was on. You know, I was there to fight. It didn't matter. So then after a while, I'd say, hey, you know what? I got into an argument with somebody, and we handled it with a fist, mano a mano. You know, and people started getting my reputation as I was a fighter.
In the early 70s, a street fight that Paul was involved in was broken up by LAPD officers, and one of the policemen convinced Paul to try his hand at boxing.
And he said, hey, if you kids want to fight for trophies and medals and forget all this gang junk, I got a boxing club up at the police station, Hollenbeck Division. Come down and learn to box for reals. I dare you. He put a proposal out there, right? And me being a curious adolescent said, hey, you know what? Let me check it out.
Paul left the gang life behind to concentrate on his boxing. Every day whilst he was preparing for the '84 Olympics, he used to pound the streets of East LA on his training runs. In a rare gesture of unity, all of the Latino gangs in this area allowed Paul to enter their territory whilst he was out doing his road work. Following his success at the Olympics, murals of Paul were painted all over East LA. Almost all of them remain to this day, and such is his standing in the community, none have been defaced or tagged over the years.
It's not touched, which is an honor, a great respect to me, you know, showing their respect. And now we're even talking about the younger generations. I would have to say it's definitely got to be off limits to them, in that sense that, you know, the neighborhood, the gangs in the community probably told them, don't mark it or you'll get marked on, you know?
With the support of his family, Paul turned professional after the LA Olympics and was one of the first fighters from the lower weight divisions to command large purses, earning $70,000 for his debut fight. He beat the great Orlando Canizales in his 5th fight and looked on course to add the world title to his Olympic crown. However, he then suffered a series of injuries which effectively ended his career. He broke a knuckle in a street fight, broke his ankle by trapping his leg under his car, and he fractured his hip in a bicycle accident.
as a professional, every fight that I had, I fought injured, believe it or not. You know, hand injuries due to just constantly working out. I didn't want to take a break when I got injured, so I worked out injured as well. You know, I should have let my body rest. Instead, because I always trained injured, I said, no problem, I'll work out like that. And I kept on.
Frustrated by his injuries, Paul retired from the ring in 1991. Although he didn't personally fulfill his potential as a professional, Gonzales paved the way for other lower weight boxers to earn the kind of money that had previously been reserved for heavier fighters. He also blazed a trail for a generation of Mexican-American fighters to succeed in the sport.
The guys that have come after me have been able to reap the benefits that I've been able to lay out for them. I've had paved that pavement gold for them. All they had to do was just follow directions.
Since hanging up his gloves, Gonzales has strived to help his community and has been actively involved in local politics, running for a place on the LA City Council. When we were in town, he was lending his support to a charity bike ride through East LA. This part of Los Angeles remains a deprived area blighted by crime and gangs, and Paul is someone who believes that he can make a difference.
Politics is like boxing. It's a different fight. But this fight is for the community. This fight is for the people. And I wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to go out there and represent my community and bring a lot of the infrastructures that should have been brought to that community so that it gives hope, a sense of hope to the kids that are growing up there and the moms and pops there to say, wow, my kids have a future now.
Paul Gonzales is a man who is deeply proud of his Mexican-American heritage. In the ring, he represented and inspired his community, and now, out of it, he's looking to do the same again.
I gotta leave something, I gotta leave my mark, I gotta do something to make sure that the next generation can follow suit and say, yeah, if he could do it from where he came from, I could do it too. There's no difference.